Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Headbanger's Closet. Appreciate all you guys tuning in as usual. This episode I want to talk about Iron Maiden, specifically a couple albums that just had birthdays within the last couple weeks. Somewhere in Time, which came out September 29th, 1986, and No Prayer for the Dying, which came out October 1st, 1990. All you guys know how much I love talking about albums when they have birthdays. These two had them recently. I also want to talk about them because I don't think they really get enough love and attention from Iron Maiden fans for being the great albums that they are. So let's get right into it. Somewhere in Time, September 29th, 1986. This one's kind of got a special place in my heart because this is the album that I heard Wasted Years. I just fell in love with the tune. But this was the album that I kind of was listening to when I went from just being like, Iron Maiden's cool, I dig them, to being, holy shit, these guys are awesome. They're one of my all-time favorite bands. And the song that really kind of got that going was Wasted Years. But great album. They recorded this down in Nassau in the Bahamas, and I think also a little bit in the Netherlands. Great record, sandwiched between two phenomenal albums, Power Slave and then Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. So I can kind of get why people tend to overlook it a little bit. It doesn't have the amount of massive songs that those two albums had on each of them, but still's got some great tunes on it. When you put it on, first song's Caught Somewhere in Time, and right away you hear they're using some synthesizers in the album, which is cool. I got no problem with it. They go on to do that a little bit more heavily on the next record, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, but this one, they kind of just started out, maybe testing the waters, so to speak. Then you get Wasted Years, we just already talked about that. Phenomenal tune, super fast and upbeat, killer guitar solos. Adrian Smith was heavily involved in the writing process of that tune, and it was one of the singles in the record. And then you get Sea of Madness, which is pretty cool. Then an awesome tune, Heaven Can Wait. And then one of my all-time favorite Maiden tunes, a tune that everybody kind of forgets about when asked to rank their top 10, 15 or so Iron Maiden tracks. It's The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner. I just love those long, epic songs that tell a story. Iron Maiden does so many of them, and they do them really, really well. Great tune. Love it. Next one is Stranger in a Strange Land, another single from this record, and another one that Adrian Smith was heavily involved in the writing process. Then you got Deja Vu, which is a killer tune, and then the album ends with Alexander the Great. So like I said, I get it, sandwiched between two classics, not as many hits on the album, but still a lot of really, really solid tracks on it, and I think you guys should listen to it right this week, right now maybe. Turn the video off, go listen to it. Actually, don't do that. Watch the video and then go listen to it this weekend and check it out. Maybe it'll kind of change in your rankings of Iron Maiden. Also, check it out with the album cover, Acacia Avenue. Like I said, came out right after Power Slave, so there we got the Egyptian pyramids. You've got Ace's High Bar. Down here, you got Ancient Mariner Seafood Restaurant. You got Phantom Opera Bar. Go on the Wikipedia page, check it out. There's a bullet point, maybe 25 or 30 of them, bullet points of all the kind of hidden, Easter eggs you can find on the album cover. So go check it out. Go try to find all of them one by one. It's kind of fun. I did it before doing the video. So that's the album cover, just kind of showing you guys the record. Love how Iron Maiden does the Eddies on the label. This is the 1986 just club edition, and there's the Somewhere in Time Eddie with the wires and the robotic stuff coming out of the top of his head. Really cool. And then the sleeve, the inner sleeve rather, it's just lyrics and a picture of the guys right there. Kind of reminds me of a Tom Petty video right there with the desert and the vehicles. So yeah, Somewhere in Time came out September 29th, 1986. And then we've got October 1st, 1990, No Prayer for the Dying. Badass tail gunner artwork right there. This is the Russian edition. Back cover, just pictures of the guys live. Great record. It's not as solid as some of the other albums. Not really sure why that is. This one came out right after Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, so like Somewhere in Time, this is also sandwiched between two great records. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, which I mentioned, there was a lot of synthesizer influence. When this one comes out, you can kind of tell right off the bat, it's a stripped down, more heavy metal style Iron Maiden, heavy metal the way Iron Maiden does it, in the vein of a Killers and a Piece of Mind kind of style. But it's sandwiched between Seventh Son of a Seventh Son and then a better record, Fear of the Dark. And not really sure why this isn't as strong as some of the other ones, or why this is not as strong as Fear of the Dark. One reason, maybe just a theory, Adrian Smith is not on this album. They got Yannick Gears, and maybe some of the stuff they had written, Adrian was involved in, and they maybe couldn't use it, so they kind of had to just like throw some songs on there. It's a really good record. It's really solid. Tail Gunner's awesome. Holy Smokes is great. No Prayer for the Dying is cool. Public Enema #1's good. Fate's Warning, The Assassin. I mean, they're not great tracks, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I skip them. But they're good tunes. But kind of redeems itself on the back half of the record, in my opinion. Running Silent, Running Deep is an awesome tune about sub-warfare. Then you get Hooks in You, which is great. Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, which is a fast, upbeat, killer tune. And then the album ends with Mother Russia. It is kind of bad shape, so I don't really want to show you the record, but it's just, maybe because it's the Russian version, I don't really know, but it's just nothing but a black label that says Iron Maiden. So, just mainly wanted to show you the Tail Gunner artwork. That's just so badass. I really wish they would have put this cover out for all of them. All of the versions and all the nations just would have been way cooler in my opinion. So, yeah, 2 great Iron Maiden records. I think maybe you guys should go back and listen to, because there's some really good tunes on both of them. Yes, they're not as full of the hits, so that makes the album as a whole not as strong as some of the other ones, but still, nonetheless, great records. So what do you guys think about these albums? Do you own them? What do you think about them? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know. Love to hear your thoughts on them. Hit that like and subscribe if you don't mind. I really appreciate that. Or don't. You don't have to. But if you do, that's super cool. I appreciate it. Go find me on Instagram, Headbangers Closet. I do my best to follow everybody back on that platform as well. And posting pictures of my collection all the time. Posting pictures of live shows I went to. Just came back from Louder Than Life in Louisville, where I got to see Metallica. 2 sets, 2 completely different sets. They played the Black Album in its entirety. Saw Judas Priest. Saw Killswitch Engage. Saw Anthrax. Saw Korn. Saw Sabaton. I listened to a handful of other bands. Some bands I wanted to. Some bands I really just didn't want to, but they were on in the background. I couldn't really escape it. But yeah, great weekend. Really cool festival. Put a lot of pictures from that weekend up on Instagram. Anything heavy metal related as well, I just kind of throw on there. So, give me a follow. I'll follow you back. And I appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate all the support and all the kind words I got. It meant a lot to get you people that watch the shows at Louder Than Life. So I really appreciate you guys coming up to me and talking to me about the channel. It means a lot to me because I really enjoy doing it, showing my collection to you guys. So yeah, appreciate it. And I'll have another video for you guys very soon. Cheers.